Hey guys, Jason for TheChartGuys taking a look at Apple. I understand there's been some news released after hours that is having a bearish impact on a lot of tech names, so it's going to ruin what is otherwise a nice momentum hammer. But I'm going to teach this lesson anyway. So we had this nice strong close yesterday. It's a Marabuzzo close, and those Marabuzzo closes really show a lot of strength into the end of the day. And it's almost like they have a ripple aftershock sort of essence impact that carries over into the next day, where you have either a gap up open or you have initial strength, and you don't really have any slowdown until after the regular trading has started. So that what we end up with is this nice momentum hammer. Now people see a hammer and they say this is a reversal signal, it's supposed to be the bottom of a downtrend. Sure, but it's still a hammer, and when it's in the middle of an uptrend, that shows you continuation, because what happens is you get your opening price, you have a flush to the downside, but you have a V-shaped recovery sometimes, or just any sort of recovery, and the bulls dominate the rest of the day and they close higher. So that is a continuation of strength. It's really quick consolidation, profit taking, but almost immediately the bulls will buy that up and continue the strength. And when you get a Marabuzzo close again, it's just more continuation, more strength, and it's a lot of fun. So these can be very, very good continuation patterns. However, we know that antitrust news has come out and things sort of ruined that for us. So here's that big drop. And if we go to the 15-minute time frame, we're getting into really, really extended, weird looking bear flag, which is not great. But you know, a few more ticks and a close above our EMA 12s, I'm going to consider that to be negated. However, it does set up a couple of key levels for us. If we go to the hourly time frame, we're setting higher highs, higher lows. So current low is going to be the low of this candlestick, 206.76. So bulls definitely need to hold that. And if they do, the hourly uptrend will remain intact. So let's go ahead and mark that guy out there. And a 4-hour time frame, not giving us a lot of information. Hourly, there we go. And let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Here's that extended flag. If this flag somehow does happen to execute and move to the downside, we'll knock out 206.76, and then no real support exists at 205.87. Then we start going back to hourly and historical levels. But right now, a lot of chop. This 50-minute uptrend has been broken. For bulls to turn things around, we need to set a high over 209.17. That is right around the area that we closed at, and then we need to see upside continuation from there. So a lot of unknown. Let's check out some hourly support levels. We already talked about 206.76, 206.71, and then our next hourly support down here at 205.87. Hopefully we don't have a big gap down tomorrow. We can swallow some of this news. It looks like bulls are at least trying to buy some of this dip. We'll see if they carry that momentum and that fervor for Apple bullish power into tomorrow's action. But we also need to worry about a couple of resistances, 209.17, high of after hours. And that's pretty much all she wrote on Apple. Good luck anyone in a long position. These news flashes and aftermarket news releases can really be quite burdensome and cause a lot of problems. But so far, Apple holding up well. We'll see if the bullish strength from this momentum hammer can negate all of that bad news and see some continuation to the upside tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Hey guys, Jason here for TheChartGuys taking a look at Amazon. Looks like we're still dealing with that area resistance at 1997.29. We had an attempt, we had a bearish attack, and we saw a recovery here by the bulls. So a lot of indecision, and obviously very, very much range bound by this major resistance that we need to get over. We do have support on the daily at 1958 and at 1951, and we will take a look at the 4-hour time frame, see if we get some clarity there. Here is that range of resistance here. Our high on this candlestick, 79. So less than $1 higher on a $2,000 stock. Not great, and not a big sign of continuation. So there's that zone of resistance and there's that zone of support and resistance. I got my words confused. Bear with me here. So see how close those are? Double top. We're just going to call it a double top, and that's what it is. And down here we have a double bottom support, and very close to reaching that again today on the 4-hour time frame. So not quite EQ, not quite direction, not a lot of anything, but they do give us some key levels here that we need to watch for. When those break, those are probably going to be what the indication of the short-term direction is going to be. Hourly time frame, the same sort of thing. A little bit of a W-shaped recovery here, bashing into 1997 resistance, almost a double top, pullback, and you can see how these are coming into play. So I'm not going to even bother giving a sense of direction for this. Let's check out the daily time frame. It's hard to say. It's all about what these levels are going to do. So let's talk about potential breaks. If we break to the bull side on Amazon, our key resistance is going to be here on the high of this candlestick, 2015, 2026, and then 2035. Should we break 1958.68, we're looking at 1951.56. Then we need to go the daily time frame to find support, and maybe the 4-hour be a little bit better. 1925, 1906, 1844. All about these key levels, and that's all I'm going to be watching. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hey guys, Jason for TheChartGuys, checking things out again. We're looking at Netflix on the daily time frame, and we can see that 1314 really acted as a resistance again for us. So setting up more indications of having that firm concrete area of resistance that eventually bulls will need to get through if they are going to have any hope of a long-term move. Now, I understand that there has been some anti-tech information that has been released, so I have not looked at the 5-minute time frame to see what is going on. So let's run a blind analysis just on this, and we'll see how our new information comes into place as because of those time frames. The one thing I do want to point out today, though, we do have a little bit of a gift. We've got an inside bar. An inside bar is where you have the range fitting completely inside the previous candlestick, and sometimes that can give you a clue as to what's going to happen, because should bulls turn things around tomorrow, we are going to break through 1350, we're going to break through 314.23, and just with no real resistance in sight, we're not going to have anything to slow us down except for maybe 4 and hourly areas of resistance. So there you have it. RSI on the daily time frame is still quite oversold. We are sitting at 22, so still overdue for a bounce. We're not seeing a lot of commitment in either direction right now, and we need to go to our sub time frames to see what's going on. So 4-hour bulls still very much not on the scene. We are seeing these lower lows, and we're currently coming down to test 305.81. And that is going to be a after hours level for us. Looks like we just dipped below that, so that guy's already out of the picture, setting a new lower low, which only reaffirms the fact that we are in a very much bearish 4-hour downtrend. Hourly time frame reflecting more of the same. And when you get in these situations, these trends really dictate the action. It is just pure trend plays right now, setting lower lows, lower highs. But you know what? That tells you what needs to change. Here's that lower low, lower high situation. We keep bouncing, we keep dropping. So you know what? If we're going to break out of this, we are going to knock out that 313.50 resistance. If we start setting higher highs and higher lows, you know what? That gets knocked out. And that's a signal that you're going to be changing your trend. Right now, no signs of strength at all for the bulls on the hourly time frame, 4-hour or the daily. A lot of weakness here, and although we don't seem to be very much impacted by the anti-tech news, that is a good thing. However, multiple time frames still showing signs of bearish weakness, bullish weakness rather. And let's take a look at what's going to have to happen for these hourly bulls to change things around. Let's start with the 15-minute time frame actually. So in order to change the trend, we need to start setting higher highs and higher lows. We had an opportunity back here, but we gave it all away because, as we know, the hourly and 4 hours very much to the downside. But trends change, and they start on the 2 and the 5, and they roll into the next time frame. So for the bulls to turn things around, we need to break over 308.66. We're going to have to get over that. And then we're going to have to set a higher low on top of our current low, which is over here at 305.30. That then will carry over, if we do get it, to the hourly time frame. And that will actually set up a hourly higher high as well, because that was an bounce attempt that failed. So if we get over 308.66, things are going to be looking good. Then we need to establish that new higher low, which is going to look, ideally, something like this. And you know what that gives us? An inverse head and shoulders. That's how that works. It's a trend change explained in a different way. So if we get that low, we get a new higher high, a higher low, and we get upside continuation. You know what? We smack right into that area of resistance. If we are able to plow through that, then we don't have a lot in the way until we get up into the 326s. Beyond that, look at all the real estate hourly bulls have to work with. They just got to turn things around. We got to be ready to be able to recognize when things are turning around, capitalize on those early entries, set your stop losses, watch those patterns and those interactions with key resistance levels, and just manage your capital accordingly. But there's a lot of opportunity here if bulls can break 13, 14, 23 and just continue this move to the upside. Exciting stuff when it works. but it doesn't always work. We just have to be watching and anticipating and getting ready for trading opportunities. You need to plan, and that's what a lot of technical analysis is. It's looking at this different chart and removing all of the information. So let's turn off everything that we have. All we see are lines and levels. But if we start doing analysis, we start setting up ideas for what we may expect, it tips the odds in our favor because we can recognize action when it's happening and then act upon that in our own trades. And that's what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you like technical analysis, I really encourage you to pick up some books or do some Googling or check out our site, TheChartGuys.com. There's lots of resources out there and it's exciting. So thanks. Hey guys, Jason here taking a look at Tesla. A little bit of strength here today, setting up a nice inside bar, sometimes useful for us when we are looking for ranges and areas of support and resistance. Generally, when you close above a inside bar level, it gives you an indication for what is going to happen for the remainder of the day. But a couple of key things right away on the daily time frame. Major area of support 254.50 to 254.19. Nice range of support that we can look for a little bit of backup should we get back down here tomorrow. But you know what, overall daily uptrend very much intact, very much going toward the bulls, grinding this RSI 72. So just happy to stay up here, and we're just consolidating sideways, which is great indication for future bullish moves. We're not seeing a lot of weakness when we should be seeing weakness. So we can consolidate sideways, we can consolidate down. It doesn't matter as long as time is added to the mix to allow that RSI to cool off, allow for more buyers to come into the market and get ready to prop up a move to the upside. So daily time frame, nice inside bar. Check out the 4-hour time frame, still setting higher highs, higher lows. Nothing new to add there. We need to get over 262.20 to set ourselves a new higher high. And then our current low is going to be here at 254.19, giving us that range of that mother bar and pulling up nicely from there. Hourly time frame, let's see what's going on here. A little bit of a chop back and forth action, and here is that range set up by our early morning action. Bulls owning the day with a nice hourly bull flag. So tomorrow, if we should be able to get through 260.48 to show a continuation of that hourly bull flag, looking for resistance up here at 262.15. If we are able to do that, and it looks like we may just do that, no real resistance on Tesla until 274.84, and perhaps over here, yes, 265.60. So that is our daily resistance, and checking back on the hourly time frame, that's what that looks like. So if we get a nice continuation on this bull flag, I would see us getting very, very extended on the RSI, probably even before we broke 262.15, but target would be 265.60 if we have another beautiful strong day tomorrow. On the counter side of that, should we fail to see a continuation of this bull flag, we'll look for this area of support to hold for us. This is going to be an important one. This range of support between 254.50 and 254.19, as we talked about. Lose that, we're looking at 251.89, and then we got to back up to our 4-hour supports, the one we just mentioned, and then the low of 247.93. Those are our key levels for Tesla. Things are looking okay, and no real signs of weakness yet, except for that crazy RSI on the daily time frame, and we just keep hammering away at that. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Check out chartguys.com or Google Technical Analysis and start learning some stuff.